new and exciting, STEM stimulating, family and corporate gathering right here in Lakeland downtown? You got it. It's the escape room. It's encounter time.
There's a lot of the STEM philosophy behind escape rooms. It stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Are the different levels that we touch on here at Lakeland Escape Room. It's an entertainment venue, and pretty much the gist of the whole thing is you pick a theme, which we have 3 different themes here at Lakeland Escape Room. We have the asylum, the cinema, and the speakeasy. And you and up to 7 other people, so 8 people in a room max. They have to work together and solve puzzles, find clues, just different tasks throughout the hour to try to escape that room.
We got out with 7 minutes to go. But she did say that the cinema one is much harder than
The challenges of escape rooms for customers is that some of the tasks to be done in 60 minutes are quite challenging. That's where having more than 1 person in the room, whether it's 2 or up to 8, it does help because everybody does think differently. Escape rooms, in a nutshell, require a lot of thinking outside of the box to where it's not traditional, linear thinking. So the more people you have looking at one puzzle, it's amazing how differently everyone's eyes will see it.
It's all about communication and working well as collaboratively. That's there's maybe 20% puzzle solving and just kind of being intuitive, but most of the 80% is working well with people.
We did have to kind of work together on figuring out codes for things, trying to figure out certain numbers equating to certain letters, and overall just making sure that we as a team are doing our part to contribute to solving the mystery.
Keeping track of the codes and the numbers, and then it's hey, why don't you take this and why don't you do that and why don't you try that? Because the minute you start putting somebody else down or you start stealing everything, someone's gonna isolate themselves and they could potentially have something that could help you solve a puzzle.
You can't just have a bunch of people going around the room doing different things. You have to work on one thing together as a group and just go through it like a maze, basically.
We all had that mutual respect for each other's different opinions and whatnot, and we all kind of, the way we put our heads together.
So it's working well together. And the other half is definitely good with numbers, keeping track, and adding things together and being kind of quick at wonder what this means or what's the history behind dominoes. We had to add dominoes together and do a puzzle where you had to skip some things. It's complicated, but it was really cool.
We are a family-owned business, which we are very proud of, and we've all contributed to coming up with the themes of the escape rooms, the actual clues of the escape rooms we've all come up with together. My husband builds the rooms. It's gonna sound funny, but for us, the way we've done all of our escape rooms is usually when we're on a road trip as a family. We're in the car and we start brainstorming and we come up with different ideas, write things down, and through the process start coming up with clues, and everybody contributes, from my 9-year-old to my 20 and 19-year-old, and my husband and I all jump in there and throw out different ideas. And once we brainstorm and come up with a lot of ideas, then we narrow it down to the actual escape room that we come up with.
To really help that bond, to build the bond between family members, to build the bond between friends, whoever it may be you want to bring out here. So from a sales standpoint, we are competitive, from every day, and coming in here really unveiled to me, stuff that I didn't know about each one of them, really that critical thinking kind of skill sets, that abstract thinking skill sets, and also that competition, that competitive skill set that each one of them really had, that really was kind of, I guess you can say, unleashed today. So I think it was a good thing. It really kind of unveils personality traits, and I think that's a, a definitely added value.
I had no idea what an escape room was even just a year ago. So our family went to Charleston for spring break last year and went to an escape room there, and within a few months did our second escape room. And it was at that time that we decided that we really wanted to bring something like this to Lakeland. We opened on December 15th, and it was probably the best decision we could have done to try to hurry up and open for the holidays, because it was immediately received by Lakeland, Polk County. We've been pulling people from outside of Polk County, which is very exciting. We get a lot of schools that bring their kids here. We've had like high achievement type of schools that want to bring their kids as a reward that have done a good job, and they bring them to Lakeland Escape Room to do an escape room activity. We've had schools call us to specifically host escape room activities for them on site. So we are now offering mobile escape rooms, so we will take our concept, build the escape room on location for you, and we can do them at birthday parties, we can do them at companies' functions, we can build it in a company's lobby where they could send their employees down throughout the day. The cinema is a fun room in that it's very family oriented. It has, the theme itself is related to different types of movies, and the room has not as difficult of a level of completion as the asylum. That can be a little more challenging, and it's just a really neat room for any age group to come in and do as a family with a group of friends.
Oh yeah. What happens in the room stays in the room.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. Many of the future doctors who will care for us, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country, can be your kids. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education.
In the asylum, there's different levels of difficulty with the different puzzles and clues that they have to find. There's a lot of team building that goes on in that room because of the way it's set up. There's different types of clues in there that vary from science to math, technology. There's a little bit of everything in that room that's very interesting for a lot of educational purposes too. There's a lot of the STEM philosophy. All right, so you guys have all done your waivers, correct?
Right.
All right, do you have anything you need to put in lockers, like your cell phones or any personal belongings? No? Okay, so have you guys, any of you done an escape room before?
Yes.
I will explain to you once we get into the room all the rules and how everything works. All right, so you guys ready to come on back to the asylum?
Yes. Right.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so this is the asylum. The asylum can be less or more scary depending on what the customer wants. We can tailor the level of intensity in terms of the fear factor. But the clues themselves and the puzzles will always be the same in that room. It's just we can alter certain things. So you guys are all reporters, and you are here because you want to write a story on the asylum. The only thing is that while you're here, the phone rings, and the nurse comes in and tells you that the phone is for you. So you go and you answer the phone, and you realize that it's your boss. And your boss says, you need to get out of the asylum. The problem there are not the patients, it's the doctor. So the last reporter that was here never wrote his story, and now you're starting to understand why maybe that reporter is still here. So you have 60 minutes while the doctor is out to lunch to find your reporter friend and hopefully escape the asylum within 60 minutes.
So
all right.
Finding somebody?
So good luck.
Are we actually finding somebody or no?
Well, ideally, if you can find that reporter and get out within 60 minutes, then yes, you will have escaped. Okay, any other questions? Yeah. Anything else? Good luck, have fun.
Thanks.
What? We went to the asylum, which is like the psychiatric ward of the escape room, and it was quite exhilarating. Really great experience. I was quite impressed with how like the rooms were coordinated with so much STEM. There was so much science and technology and medicine.
But it's like glued down.
We had to do multiple math problems, which you don't ever do in day-to-day life without a calculator or something right there. So that was challenging.
This one, I enjoyed it more. I was more scared and like, I don't know, this one, and the ones in Orlando, they kind of guide you because there's like stickers for clues. This one, you just have to figure it out all on your own. Like you have to like touch everything, be like, is this a clue? Is it not a clue? So I like, it's more challenging. It's not impossible, but.
What was the combination again?
I think it was just challenging enough to keep me entertained, but it wasn't impossible. Been to both Tampa and Orlando. And this one was more challenging. I think there was way more to put together to solve the big problem, which I thought was fun.
To figure out a math equation. You know, normally you would use a calculator, but you know, when you have it takes you a second when you're like, oh, and then the medicines is what got me. So it made you think, like it made you use like everything that you like have learned up to this point, like, okay, I can do this math, and then this looks like it goes here and it connects, and then
it was very challenging, but not challenging enough to where you want to give up, but it was quite challenging to where like, this is fun, I want to continue to go.
And at first I was like, I'm not going to be able to solve this. Like it's not like, I'm used to it kind of being laid out for you, but I was like, it's a challenging thing, and we all had fun, and you work as a team, and like, it just, I don't know, it makes you like closer, and you're thinking and using all your minds, and you like have to work on things together. And we had a great time. Like I enjoyed every second of it.
The lighting made it hard because sometimes you had to turn the lights off or on and figure out hidden clues that you wouldn't normally like think of.
Turn the lights off?
Yes.
Oh,
Is anything glowing?
Anything going?
Not nary a thing. Oh, this.
What? What is it?
Just the
You want a clue?
Yeah.
Yes! Clue! I need a clue! I think the most challenging part for me, because like I'm kind of nervous about like scary things. And so for me, it was just like figuring out, is somebody gonna come get me? I think just the nerve factor, like, you know, thinking that something's gonna come out and get you, that was the most challenging part for me, because I'm slightly, you know, scared.
The asylum has proven to be our most popular room. I am constantly amazed at how much people like to get scared. We obviously do not want it to be a negative experience for anybody. So if they enjoy it, or you can tell they're participating in that whole level of intensity, then we continue with it. If somebody asks us to tone it down, or they don't want to be scared, then we just stop scaring them and let them do the escape room the way it is. But most people like it. You'd be surprised.
I like the atmosphere. Like, it seemed like the further you got, the scarier it got, and it was like you were jumping at like the smallest of noises.
There's gonna be somebody in there.
You're like, you would open something, then you would run away from it because you think something's gonna come get you. So that was my favorite part.
Oh, not the shelter!
We just thought we were done.
I whispered. I had a slight whistle, and it really wasn't too harsh. I think I only made a couple of people's ears bleed. And for the most part, it was like a dog whistle. Didn't scream too much.
The speakeasy is one of our first rooms, and it's actually a room that we have duplicated so that we can have a lot of larger groups come in. A lot of the companies like to use the 2 rooms that are the same, and they put all of their employees in the 2 different rooms, and they start at the same time. So in addition to trying to escape the speakeasy escape room, they're also competing with the people in the other speakeasy to see who can get out first. So it just adds another element of fun, and people really enjoy that. We get a lot of different age ranges here as far as teenagers, younger kids. We recommend anywhere 11 or older to come in. If you're younger, we do think that you should be with an adult. Some of the puzzles might be higher level or too difficult for them to do on their own, but with parents or with adults, they should be fine and be able to be part of the experience. We get a lot of high school kids, college kids. They love to come in and do a lot of the escape rooms. And then adults. We've been very pleasantly surprised with the amount of adults that come in on couples nights out. They go out to dinner in downtown Lakeland, and then they end their evening with an escape room.
It's been a thrilling experience. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Encounter. See you next time.